This is Camnet Television Main News. Welcome. To present, my name is Jeffrey Siambo. Our top stories in the news tonight: ECL's decision to shun the Democracy Summit condemned. Women in mining elated by the financial pledge into the sector from the USA. 70-year-old man suffering from cataract pleads for help. In international news, disagreements between paramilitary and military in Sudan delay signing of political deal. In sports news, Leicester City sack manager after 4 years in charge.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet Television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet Television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
On Monday, 3rd April 2023, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba with his guest, Honorable Winter Kabimba, Economic Front President.
What we want to see from the UPND is, can you fulfill your campaign promises?
As they discuss democracy and human rights in Zambia.
Invite others to participate through phoning, on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages. Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Hello again. We now have the news in detail. Association of Zambian Women in Mining says it will wait on government to give direction on how the 3.5 million kwacha the United States government has given women in mining and how it will be dispersed. In an interview with Camnet News, Mrs. Njapao says the strong relationship that President Hakainde Hichilema has created with other countries has seen women in mining being recognized by the United States Vice President Kamala Harris, who has pledged 3.5 million kwacha towards supporting women in mining. She has since appealed to women from across the country to ensure that they form cooperatives and affiliate to a body so that they can benefit from the resources that have been available. More in this report.
The pledge by the United States Vice President Kamala Harris of $3.5 million United States dollars towards the support of women in mining has cheered the Association of Zambian Women in Mining, who say they are now waiting on the government to give a direction on how the resources will be administered. In an interview with Camnet News, Association of Zambian Women in Mining President Grace Njapao says women across the country engaging in mining activities are being faced with various challenges, among them hard labor, and says the pledge of the resources has come at the right time to resolve some of the challenges.
One thing that we have to appreciate, yes, the 3.5 million which was pronounced, the government will guide us. How are women in mining going to benefit? And we are in 10 provinces of this country. All our women are there. Some they are mining amethyst in southern province. Some are mining emeralds in Copperbelt province. Some are mining aqua in eastern province. Some are mining different minerals in our country, northwest and Luapula province, northern.
And Ms. Njapao says President Hakainde Hichilema has shown that he is a resilient leader determined to attract investment in many sectors of the country, and has since called on other women across the country to form cooperatives and affiliate with a body so that they can benefit from the resources.
Out there, can we come out? Can we start forming cooperatives? Those who are doing, those who are in artisanal mining, please, wherever you are, try to group yourself and create and register cooperatives, because by doing that, even the government will be able to support us, because the government is not going to support individuals. So those who are in sand mining, you group yourselves. Those who are in aqua, you group yourselves. Those who are in amethyst, you group yourselves. Those who are in clay, you group yourselves. Those who are in crush stoning, they also group themselves. By doing that, then we are going to benefit whatever government is going to give us.
Myths and misconceptions such as minerals disappearing when women step on mines has been limiting most women from participating in mining activities. There is need then to bridge information gap to ensure that women leave their comfort zone and take part in the mineral wealth of the country. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
A 70-year-old man of Lusaka's George compound, Philemon Shumba, is battling with cataracts, a condition which clouds the eye lens, stating that he has been in and out of the University Teaching Hospital, UTH, for 6 years with no permanent solution. Speaking to Camnet News, Mr. Shumba explains that he was advised by doctors from the UTH to undergo an eye surgery at a private hospital to reverse the condition. The old man states that this has, however, left him and his family stranded, as they do not have the money for the eye surgery and other costs, which he says total 5,000 kwacha. According to the World Health Organization and WHO, cataracts are the #1 cause of blindness in the world. More in this report.
An estimate of 75,000 people in Zambia are blind today due to cataracts, an eye condition which leaves the eye lens clouded, according to 2022 statistics from the Zambian Ministry of Health. The number of people with this condition is predicted to be rising annually, with conditions like hypertension increasing the risk of one developing cataracts and going blind. This is the condition that a 70-year-old man from Lusaka's George compound, Philemon Shumba, has found himself in, stating that he suffers from hypertension and has developed cataracts, which are increasing by the day. Mr. Shumba narrates that he was retired from the Ministry of Justice, where he worked as a driver some years ago on the said medical grounds, stating that he has been in and out of the University Teaching Hospital, UTH, for 6 years now. He, however, states that there is hope, as he was told that he can get an eye surgery from a private hospital, but says the procedure, added with transport, will amount to about 5,000 kwacha, which the family does not have.
So manje hapo ine chinani kanga kuti ndrama nzaka spesa kuti so na manje nikalikuvutika nisakira ndrama. So manje ninaendanso futi na kuchani kumukinge kuja ku Northwestern Province ku Kasempa kuja kumkinge nako barakambata makatracts aya kufunika kuyaita remove mwamusanga otherwise is not good, yali dangerous. So manje pano ine ni pempa tandizo kumawelo wishes kuti nirezinge ndrama yokwanira 5,000.
His wife has also voiced on the situation.
So ine ni magulisa kutogulisa chabe kuti nizitandizika pale panyuma. Ine chamene ningakambe konza kuti vatitandizire kuti amuna vanga tikaende kuchana ku operation ya menso. Tandizire kugawamba ndiye amene tasoleka.
The scenario highlights the inequalities that need to be handled in the country's healthcare system if to achieve 2030 Sustainable Development Goal number 3 of ensuring good health and well-being for all. The man's fate is now in the hands of those willing to extend a helping hand to ensure that he undergoes the eye surgery and avoids going blind. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Mprokoso area member of Parliament Brian Mundubile has called it a blunder for the United States Vice President Kamala Harris to shun paying a courtesy call on father of the nation, former President Edgar Lungu. Mr. Mundubile says Mr. Lungu must have been high on the agenda because Zambia's democratic credentials were heightened when he handed over power in a smooth transition to the UPND administration. But Ministry of Information and Media Director, spokesperson Tabo Kawana, says the bad behavior that has been exhibited by those surrounding former President Edgar Lungu has enabled him to fail to take up the position of father of the nation, which he rightfully deserves. More in this report.
The visit of the United States Vice President Kamala Harris to Zambia received a lot of backlash from the opposition Patriotic Front members of parliament, who clearly indicated that a visit was not welcome as it was meant to enforce inhuman acts on the Zambian people.
We, as members of parliament from the left, from the PFs, we will not join a list of puppets who are going to sit back in fear and submit to the imperialists.
In a twist of events, leader of the opposition in parliament, Brian Mondorile, has called it a mistake for the United States Vice President Kamala Harris to shun paying a courtesy call on the father of the nation and the only existing former president, Edgar Lungu.
The democratic credentials for Zambia went up when President Lungu handed over power to the now UPND smoothly. And that should have been the reason why she should have had him on her agenda, to ensure that there is constant communication between these two offices, or office of the former president and office of the president going forward. You know that President Edgar Lungu did not only pass over power smoothly or hand over power smoothly. I think he also did a lot for Zambia that every Zambian must appreciate.
Meanwhile, Ministry of Information Media Director spokesperson Tabo Kawana says the bad behavior that has been exhibited by those who are surrounding the former president has enabled him to fail to take up the role of father of the nation, and has since appealed to all those who have been dragging the former head of state into politics to stop, so that Mr. Lungu can fully take up his position.
As Patriotic Front have robbed that man of the status of father of the nation. As it is now, he continues by proclamation, by action, by conduct to be the leader of the opposition Patriotic Front. And that status is not a unifying status. It is not a status that deserves a visit, a high-profile visit, such as the one that was conducted by the Vice President of the United States of America.
For now, it is clear that the visit of Ms. Harris and the hosting of the Democratic Conference did not see any promotion of LGBTQ rights as was being purported by the opposition. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Meanwhile, Tabo Kawana has advised former President Edgar Lungu to take his position as a statesman and begin to offer his services to the nation. Speaking to Camnet News, Mr. Kawana says former President Edgar Lungu has already played his major role on handing over power when he considered defeat as a great son of the soil who promotes democracy. He says Mr. Lungu's conduct should be in tandem with his gesture and should lead as an example to act the part of and promote Zambia's democracy. Mr. Kawana says former President Lungu is the father of the nation and should take up his role by taking part in national matters and uniting the country.
Same thing that President Lungu, at the time he had the power and audacity, if he wanted and so wished, to refuse to hand over power to President Hakainde Hichilema, he conceded and handed over power. So his role is that of Dr. Kaunda, is that of former President Rupia Banda and himself. These are roles that deserve commendation. These are roles that are respected the world over. And that is why when you are a man coming from such a position, your conduct ought to be the same, if not better, where you come out, you bring the nation together, and you rally the democratic tenets and principles around the current regime, so that you continue to see such things happen in the country, where no president should ever be tempted to refuse to leave office after either doing their 10 years or losing power through the ballot. So I want to appeal to President Lungu, as your son, President Lungu, please don't allow these characters to abuse you, to make you continue doing the things that are happening around you, where you are a partisan president. You are not. You are a father of the nation. Proclaim your position. Take up your job. Take up your role. Be the one to unite the country. Be the one to go around the country to check on the flood situation and to take a report to your brother, your young brother, President Hakainde Hichilema. Be the one to, for example, when we held the summit, you should have been the one to open the democratic summit, because you deserve a position and sit there, but you were invited and you didn't go. Yet that is your role, that is your show. You are the one that holds that democratic pride for the country, because at the time that you had authority, you handed it over and considered defeat.
And Patriotic Front Media Director Antonio Mwanza has alleged that former President Edgar Lungu has retired from active politics and is not in any way representing the Patriotic Front. In an interview with Camnet News, Mr. Mwanza says the commentaries that President Edgar Lungu has been making on economic issues affecting the country are non-political and that he speaks as a Zambian citizen. Mr. Mwanza, however, says there is nothing wrong for President Edgar Lungu to come back in active politics if he so wishes, adding that he still has the support of many Zambians.
Status is that President Lungu has retired from active politics. He has written to the government of the Republic of Zambia of his retirement. He has written to the Patriotic Front of his retirement. But if he wants to come back into the political arena, that again is a democratic choice that is up to President Lungu. It's up to him to decide whether he wants to remain in retirement or he wants to come back into politics. That is his democratic right. And I want to just add that we have seen a lot of attacks on President Edgar Lungu, especially from the UPND leadership, including the president himself. But I want to remind you that one, President Lungu remains a citizen of this country. President Lungu, as citizen of this country, has the democratic right to go to church, to worship, to issue statements. That is his democratic right, which can not be taken away from him. So they should not intimidate him to say he can't talk, he can't move. No, that is unacceptable. That is infringing on his constitutional and democratic rights. So does he want to come back to politics? I wouldn't say, because I don't work in his office, but all I know is that he is free to do so if he so wishes.
United Party for National Development, UPND Lusaka District Information and Publicity Secretary Matomola Likwanya has appealed to police and investigative bodies in the country to start enforcing the law on all those who have taken freedom of expression to the extremes by acting outside the law. Addressing the media in Lusaka Sunday, Mr. Likwanya says the action taken by some opposition political party leaders to demonstrate against the Democratic Summit and the visit of the United States Vice President Kamala Harris is unacceptable and should not go unpunished. He says inasmuch as the UPND administration has restored freedom of expression to the Zambian people, there is a limit to how far one can go and that anyone who acts outside the law should be punished. He has since applauded the United States for all the support it has pledged to render to Zambia.
The Democracy Summit that we had in our country is a step in the right direction to show that Zambia is a democratic state. Oh, yes. But at this point, I want to say that we have challenges in this country with some opposition leaders that do not want to be reasonable. We have witnessed and observed how some other opposition leaders want to abuse the democracy. The president of this country has scrapped off the defamation clause of the president. He is there to demonstrate that he wants the opposition to speak and to express themselves. But this freedom has been abused by some opposition leaders. They want to protest anyhow on issues that are not bringing food to the table of this country. They want to raise issues that are in Iraq when we have got issues here in Zambia. We are appealing We are appealing to the Zambia police. We are appealing to investigative agencies and all the authorities to begin to work together with this government in terms of curtailing some of these people who are abusing their freedoms.
United Party for National Development, UPND Provincial Youth spokesperson Bruce Kanema has dispelled social media assertions that the party has lost popularity on the ground, as UPND youths in many of the party structures feel abandoned by the party in government. In an interview, Mr. Kanema states that investigations done on the ground by provincial youth leaders show that videos circulating on social media depicting UPND youths as disgruntled are sponsored by the opposition to cause confusion in the party. Mr. Kanema states that UPND youths are happy and do not expect any special treatment from their party, which is in government, as they are trying to earn a living through hard work, just like any other citizen.
Each constituency, each province got 5 tankers for the youths. All the 10 provinces, each province got 5 tankers. Youths on the ground there are benefiting through such initiatives. We have got CDF. CDF has got a provision for training skills or training youths into skills. There is a provision also under CDF for the grants and loans. Our youths, because they live in all these 156 constituencies, they are benefiting down there. The youths that they are referring to are those youths whereby they want to come back to a station. We don't allow youths in the stations to do catalysm there. But when it comes to the general youths, the UPND youths across the country, in all the 10 provinces, each province has got activities, economic activities, which the youths are participating in. I've said tankers are there. There is CDF there. Also other programs are there. The party has got also its own programs that have outlined that is benefiting the youths on the ground. So that is a propaganda from our opposition, our colleagues, the opposition, to incite the youths or to paint a picture that UPND youths are suffering and are disgruntled.
Liberty Rehabilitation Center Managing Partners Cassius Akapelwa has charged that the high unemployment levels in Zambia are a major contributor to criminal activities that have raved the country in recent times. Speaking to Camnet News in an interview, Mr. Akapelwa notes that a lot of young people are frustrated due to failure to find tangible solutions for their financial challenges, hence engaging in illicit activities such as alcohol and drug abuse, which in turn results in increased criminal activities. He says his organization, which will offer rehabilitation pre-programs, is aimed at bridging the gap by supporting government's agenda of making the young people realize their full potential to contribute meaningfully to national development. He says the situation is saddening owing to the fact that young people are the majority in Zambia, calling on the young people to be responsible for their well-being and that of the nation at large.
On the high, and the question lingers around. The citizens of this country now are living in fear. Our young children, our youths, most of our young people in the country, according to the statistics, the young people are so much involved in substance abuse and alcoholism. So what we've done to supplement on government's efforts, what we've done is that we are now have a creation of Liberty Rehabilitation Center. This organization will now focus on trying to ensure that we reach out to as many young people as soon as possible, especially those that are afflicted with the scourge of alcoholism and substance abuse. If you look at all these crime rates in the country, they are interrelated because of those vices. So we are engaging the Drug Enforcement Commission, because Drug Enforcement Commission alone cannot tackle this problem. No, the employment rate in the country is too high. So you find that most of these young people needs to go a reformatory stage where we have to sensitize them. The sensitization campaign, beginning with schools, okay, churches, different organizations. This problem is not only on the street. Even in these suburbs, serious suburbs, the rich, the wealthy ones, they're experiencing these problems.
Mbabala constituency member of parliament Joseph Munsanje has assured people of his constituency of increased security, stating that police patrols are set to start after the purchase of a police vehicle using the Constituency Development Fund CDF in 2023. Speaking to Camnet News, Mr. Munsanje notes that crime rates are high in rural areas as people take advantage of the lack of police presence, stating that this will, however, be a thing of the past. He has also revealed that the constituency is targeting setting up 12 health posts in 2023 to bring healthcare nearer to the people. More in this report.
Zambia's rural areas have for a long time been lagging behind, not only in basic social amenities, but also in key facilities, such as police stations. This has given leeway for criminals to conduct various activities, with reports of incidences like cattle theft being on the rise in these areas. As the country aspires to reach a status of equal development, Mbabala constituency member of parliament Joseph Munsanje says the constituency plans to make full use of the Constituency Development Fund CDF to ensure that such vices are curbed. The Mbabala lawmaker was speaking to Camnet News.
And we're going to buy another motor vehicle for the police. And we have Macha Police, we have Mbabala Police, so we'll decide where we put so that we can equip our police also to be able to move. There's a lot of cattle thefts and stock theft in our constituency. So we believe that a mobile police is going to help us deal with some of these things, even people who are dying from strange deaths. We have had 2 already, one in Kamanga, one in Mapanza and the like. So once we put a mobile, we have mobility in the police, it's going to help in a lot of outcomes.
He has also reviewed that a number of projects have been lined up in his constituency for 2023, which include the setting up of 12 health posts, the connection of schools to running water, and increasing the number of clubs under CDF to at least 10 per ward.
And we are also going to open about 12 health posts, which we are opening from Manancheo, Kachenje, Kasiwe, Hakalova, Namianda, Kaseko, all these health posts, Halumba and the like, Maobwe, they are going to be opened and available to service the community. Even in Mayobo, where we just need to go and build the house. So these projects are going to be opened this year, and 2 maternity wings at Narube and Kabanze. These maternity wings are going to also open, and then we are looking at rehabilitating another one at Namianda.
The lawmaker hopes that the said development will change the face of the constituency and result in overall progress. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News.
You're watching Camnet Television and not just another channel. We'll take a break. Join us for more news after the break.
I can take her a bit.
Yes, my dear.
I was thinking of getting you a Bugatti on your birthday.
Really?
I'm quiet. My name is Yana.
Don't worry, man. That's why there is insurance.
Insurance?
You heard me.
Not just any kind of insurance, but Savenda General Insurance, a company that offers superior customer service, highly professional and dedicated staff. We are not just any insurance company, but an insurance company that actually pays our claims. We cover, among others, fire, marine, aviation, engineering, agriculture, motor vehicle, and miscellaneous insurance. So, live life to the full, knowing that Savenda General Insurance has got you covered. Savenda General Insurance. Insurance excellence.
Your skin is the biggest muscle in your body. That's why we make sure that Oracle is #1 when it comes to taking care of your precious skin. Oracle Pure Petroleum Jelly and Glycerin soothes, moisturizes and keeps your skin perfect. Oracle Pure Petroleum Products for that perfect skin.
On Monday, 3rd April 2023, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba with his guest, Honorable Winter Kabimba, Economic Front President.
What we want to see from the UPND is, can you fulfill your campaign promises?
As they discuss democracy and human rights in Zambia.
Invite others to participate through phoning, on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages. Make a debt with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. The Seventh-day Adventist Church in Lusaka has urged youths to take part in community service, stating that this has for a long time been seen as a preserve of the elderly. Speaking during the induction of new Dorcas and Adventist Men's Organization AMO members Saturday evening, Mtendere Mission District Dorcas President Rhoda Muzelengani states that there is need to put God's word into practice by offering service to the community. The ceremony also saw hundreds of women, youth and men joining the two groups, which are focused on offering community service. More in this report.
Churches in Zambia have for long been recognized as partners in development, as many of those that are well established have been complementing various sectors in the country, such as health and education. The Seventh-day Adventist Church, which is one of those that have been offering community service in many areas, have challenged the youth and women to offer themselves up in numbers for community service, while expecting nothing in return. This is the message that was sent out by Mutendere Mission District Dorcas President Rhoda Muzelengani Saturday evening during the annual induction of Dorcas members, as well as Adventist Men's Organization AMO members. The two organizations are mandated to carry out community work in respective areas.
Let's be there for them. I'm very happy. We never knew that there's armor in this district. Because we armor men, we started on a good note. We had a community service. We never paid for labor. Armor men were there. Armor men were there. And very soon we are starting a project at Mutendere Clinic. We know that our men will be there to give that show.
A similar induction service was held in Woodlands, with Dorcas Woodlands Conference President Ruth Mukeya leading the occasion.
I think there's a battle this year. And we are excited that the young ones are joining Dorcas in the army. This is the way we should go, because the three angel message will be transmitted by the youth at the end. There is proper teamwork in this group. Most of our movements. That's why I'm saying exactly God bless you. I just want to encourage everyone out there to follow what our people are doing, and that you can join and become members of this society. I've seen a lot talk about this society to be that one for elderly people, but I have to emphasize to you today that as young as Sister Sofa here, you are allowed and you are welcome to join this group.
The ceremony also saw persons with disabilities offering themselves for community service. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Scores of Christians from 5 churches in Chongo District today marched through the Central Business District to commemorate Palm Sunday. Congregants from the Catholic Church, United Church of Zambia UCZ, Anglican, Reformed Church of Zambia RCZ and Salvation Army observed the event with songs of praises and attended a sermon together. Simon Kabole, a pastor from Salvation Army Church who conducted the sermon, encouraged all Christians in the area to be peaceful at all times. Pastor Kabole said Christians have a responsibility to promote peace within their respective churches and other setups in society. He stated that Christians should be identified by their peaceful nature in communities, families, and workplaces. Pastor Kabole further urged Christians in the area to also ensure that they play a key role in promoting peace in situations where misunderstandings are being experienced. He cautioned churchgoers to avoid exhibiting double standards in their way of life, adding that society looks up to Christians as role models. And a congregant from the Reformed Church of Zambia, James Jerry, stated that Palm Sunday is significant to Christians because it symbolizes the triumphant entry of Jesus Christ into Jerusalem. Over 10,000 farmers in southern and western provinces are to benefit in the enhanced rural household food security, smart and environmentally friendly agricultural practices in Zambia. Zambia Agricultural Research Institute ZARI Senior Agricultural Research Officer William Funsani says the farmers are to benefit from the 3-year project in 5 districts of the 2 provinces. Mr. Funsani named the target crop value chains in which farmers will be engaged in as cowpeas, groundnuts, sorghum, pearl millet, sweet potatoes and cassava to enhance their food security. He clarified that the climate-resilient crops promoted by the project are self-pollinated seed that can be recycled by farmers to use as seed banks under the various protocols. Mr. Funsani named the project as enhancing food security through integration of climate resilience crops in maize-based farming systems among small-scale farmers in Zambia and Namibia project. More in the following report.
It is a specialized school that is called Farmer Field School, and the teacher is known as the Camp Extension Officer, whose students are farmers. They learn theory in class on climate smart and environmentally friendly agricultural practices aimed at enhancing household food security and growing open pollinated varieties of diverse value chains of field crops. The practical part is done in the field under enhancing food security through integration of climate resilient crops in maize-based farming systems among small-scale farmers in Namibia and Zambia project. Piers Michelo is Siamulunga Camp Extension Officer in Kazungula.
We are training the farmers in class on how to go about these crops. Then they come into the field to do the practicals, and they then, after growing these crops, these farmers will manage to get these seeds to their homes so that they promote food security.
Zambia Agricultural Research Institute Senior Agricultural Officer William Funsani says over 10,000 farmers in southern and western provinces are to benefit from the 3-year project funded by the Southern Africa Science Service Center for Climate Change and Adaptive Land Management.
The main objective of the project is to enhance food security at household level among rural small-scale farmers through promotion of climate and environmentally friendly agricultural technologies. Here in Kazungura, we are in 3 camps, which is a target number of camps for all the districts, and we intend to achieve a number of beneficiaries of 2,000 farmers per district.
Wendy Mabuku is one of the trained facilitators under the project.
Kwenderanya project yeyi ibubo tumboturangira kuno bwakusumpura maumi esu toma farmers.
Reporting, Lawrence Kabutu in Kazungula, Southern Province.
We'll take a break. Join us for international sports news after the break.
Cabbages, onions, maize, potatoes, tomatoes, chilies. At Rainglow, we supply great quality irrigation for the mentioned crops and more at an affordable price. Get our 2,000 meter flat drip for as low as 2,900 kwacha. Or our 500 meter round hose for 1,300 kwacha. Customize your own spacing with our 500 meter blank round hose going for 1,200 kwacha, ideal for orchards such as avocado, mango, banana, oranges, etc. Rainglow irrigation, best quality, best price.
On Monday, 3rd April 2023, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba with his guest, Honorable Winter Kabimba, Economic Front President.
What we want to see from the UPND is, can you fulfill your campaign promises?
As they discuss democracy and human rights in Zambia.
Invite others to participate through phoning on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages. Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. And in international news, Sudan's military leaders and the main pro-democracy network announced Saturday, 1st April, that they'd delayed the signing of a political agreement. The deal was aimed at ushering in a civilian government following the October 2021 military coup. The signing was initially scheduled for later that day. The spokesman for the pro-democracy bloc explained the apparent deadlock. The meeting discussed the developments of the political process that aimed at signing the final agreement. Both parties met in Khartoum with representatives from the African Union, the United Nations, and the Intergovernmental Authority on Development in Eastern Africa, who have facilitated talks between the military and pro-democracy groups. More in international news in this roundup.
Sudan's military leaders and the main pro-democracy network announced Saturday to delay the signing of an agreement. The deal was aimed at ushering in a civilian government following the October 2021 military coup. The signing was initially scheduled for later that day. The spokesman for the pro-democracy bloc explained the apparent deadlock. The meeting discussed the developments of the political process that aimed at signing the final agreement today. The parties discussed the only major point that was left unresolved, which is related to a technical case regarding the military and security reform. Both parties met in Khartoum with representatives from the African Union, the UN and the Intergovernmental Authority on Development in Eastern Africa. All military and civilian parties have decided to intensify their efforts in order to solve those unresolved technical issues in a period starting tonight till the 6th of April, and to work as hard as possible to find an agreement on the point that is left unresolved before April 6th. And if the deal is concluded, then the signing will happen on April 6th. It remains to be seen if the RSF paramilitary unit and the military will reach by April 6th a consensus on a timeline for their merge.
These men are hoping to find work. I have no work for you, this factory owner tells them. The price of electricity has increased, making it more expensive to run machinery, and the collapse of Pakistan's currency makes importing raw materials very difficult.
Every day, dozens of factories are closing, hundreds of our workers are becoming jobless. We even don't have the money to give our electricity bill. That is the reason that these factories looks like the graveyard of the machinery. And the reason is that our government, politicians, they are busy in the game of power.
The city of Faisalabad is famous for its factories, but now so many have been left jobless.
Where are we supposed to go? How are we to send our children to school and feed them? We can only work if there's work. The politicians are stuck in their own politics. No one cares about us workers.
Everyone in this city has felt the impact of the crisis. This is one of the largest textile factories in the country. They produce clothing for designer brands. They too have had to lay off workers, but they've weathered the storm for now.
Each government comes with a different agenda, with a different subsidy package, with a different policy. So one thing which we can differ from, or which differs us from competitors like other countries like Bangladesh, is the consistency and implementation of a long-term policy to ensure the sustainable growth of the textile sector.
The Pakistani government's discussions with the IMF are said to include energy subsidies for the textile industry. Some worry that if those are cut or removed, things could get worse.
Pakistan has lots of poverty and unemployment, and because of this industry, so many of us get work and run our households, especially important for women because there aren't a lot of opportunities generally.
People here say there is so much potential in the textile industry and it can become a world leader if it's supported by the government.
With the coalition government still debating the terms of a relief package with the IMF, the success or failure of Pakistan's economy could hinge on the textile industry. That's why business leaders here are urging the government to protect it. But most of all, they want political stability, something that's been missing in recent times. Asad Beg, Al Jazeera, Faisalabad, Pakistan.
It's now time for sports news. In our sports news tonight, Leicester City have sacked manager Brendan Rodgers after Saturday's 2-1 loss to Crystal Palace, with the club's board compelled to take alternative action to stay in the Premier League. Their fifth league defeat in 6 games dropped them into the relegation zone. Rodgers, appointed in February 2019, won Leicester's first FA Cup in 2021. But Chairman Aiwat Shrivadaraprabha said performances and results this season have been below expectations. In a statement, he added, "It had been our belief that continuity and stability would be key to correcting our course, particularly given our previous achievements under Brendan's management." Rodgers, 50, led Leicester to consecutive 5th-place finishes in his first 2 full seasons as Fox's boss, as well as beating Chelsea to lift the FA Cup in 2021. But his side began the 2022-2023 campaign with 7 defeats from their opening 10 Premier League games, slumping to the bottom of the table before a run of 4 wins from 5 games going into the World Cup break. They have struggled since the season resumed, however, collecting just 7 points from 33 available. Leicester exited the EFL Cup against Newcastle and the FA Cup against Blackburn during that run. The Foxes rallied in January when a 2-2 draw with Brighton was followed by impressive wins over Aston Villa and Tottenham, scoring 4 goals in both of those victories. But results again dipped, with the club failing to win in 8 games in all competitions since the victory over Spurs on 11 February. In a crucial game against fellow strugglers Palace, the hosts playing their first game since sacking manager Patrick Vieira and reappointing Roy Hodgson, they lost out to Jean-Philippe Mateta's 94th minute winner. Leicester, in 18th before Sunday's matches, are 1 point from safety in a tight battle for survival, with 7 points separating the bottom 9 sides. Overall, the former Swansea, Liverpool and Celtic manager won 92 of his 204 games in charge, with a win percentage of 45.1%. That football note brings us to the end of the news tonight. But before we go, the top stories once again. Edgar Chagolungu's decision to shun the Democracy Summit condemned. Women in mining elated by the financial pledge into the sector from the USA. 70-year-old man suffering from cataract pleads for help. In international news, disagreements between paramilitary and military in Sudan delay signing of political deal. And in sports news, Leicester City sacked manager Brendan Rodgers after 4 years in charge. Our Camnet verse of the day is coming from John 18 verse 2. Now Judas, who betrayed him, knew the place because Jesus had often met there with his disciples. Thanks once again for watching Camnet Television Main News. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo. Bye-bye.